We got sound stages chock full of production making goodness. We film primarily interior scenes in there. We can dress the interior to look like any type of interior that we want. These stages have been used for shows such as Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks and Polly Shelton.
Oh yeah, they're working on
in season 3, streaming on Peacock. And we just wrapped up season 4 of these stages for Hacks, starring Kate Smith and Hannah Einbinder. That streams on Max. And you know what? Before streaming came on, Universal dominated the broadcast airways with 80% of the television shows. Starring Ryan Rudolph. They're filming these stages coming up on your right. We're also home to Suits LA, starring Stephen Amell. Now have your cameras ready because we have a lot of Easter eggs here on the back lot. One of them's coming up on your right. It's the Minions. They are everywhere. Hide your bananas. It's part of Illumination Entertainment. Executive producer Chris Meledandri has brought a number of blockbuster animated features to Universal, including the Despicable Me franchise. Also coming up on your right, Stage 19, used for blockbuster Oscar-winning motion pictures such as Oppenheimer, starring Academy Award winner Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. On your left, another Easter egg. That's the second biggest teddy bear I've ever seen. That's Ted. That's not a 40 ounce, he's got an 80 ounce right there. That's thirsty. He's standing in front of a series of 10 bungalows that were once permanent dressing rooms for movie stars such as Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Jimmy Stewart, Paul Newman. Today they are production offices occupied by the likes of Mark Platt. Mark Platt Productions brought you the Oscar-nominated hit musical motion picture Wicked, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum, directed by John M. Chu. Also coming up on your left, the classic Bungalow 5195 with the Alfred Hitchcock logo out front. It was Alfred Hitchcock's production office with the Alfred Hitchcock Presents television series.
Lou said he can move into that office. I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. That's just a trying. I'm museum.
Very exciting just to know he was there and walk by and know he was in that office. Hitchcock is everywhere. I saw Hitchcock once walking around the commissary.
Hitchcock had fun to go on the lot. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I loved working with him. I highly respect him. You really understood fear and terror.
The birds? Oh, man.
Birds? Oh, man.
You see? They were there in the front lot where we do all our interior filming and taking you to the back lot where we do the large scale exterior filming. We're going to show you sets from some of your favorite movies and television shows. The sets that you see on our back lot, they look like real buildings, but they are not. They're what we call facades, just false fronts and sides of buildings. You only go where the camera needs to see. What looks like brick and concrete is actually foam rubber and fiberglass. We're coming up on the heart of our back lot, our metropolitan sets. Coming up on the right is our skyscraper district. Everything around here is 50 feet tall. Gives the camera the impression that the buildings are as tall as buildings that you find in a major city. 50 feet is all you need. Imagination takes over from there. Keep looking on your right, you will see the exterior set for St. Denis Medical. We are coming back for a second season. Across the way, you have a beautiful brownstone neighborhood. There's under the movie itself, you decide to walk down that sidewalk. The Academy Award winner Clint Eastwood. And that's the king, all underneath that cool refrigerator. Every big city has a small town behind it. Every small town has a heart. The heart of our small town is coming up. It is Courthouse Square, featured in dozens of productions, but only one production has made this area famous. That was Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Leah Thompson. Now take a look at this image on your screens. It's iconic. So that any production is filmed in this area over the years. You see that in the background. Well, you think it's Hill Valley. So we solved that issue by putting in a new facade in front of the old facade. It's been like that ever since. Ghost Whisperer, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt. This was the town of Grandview for Ghost Whisperer. Right now, it is dressed as the front of a high school. That high school is featured in Ted. Ted's been filming all over the lot. That is the high school where the character Johnny attends, portrayed by Max Burkholder. A lot of work goes into dressing these sets because you gotta dress in different time periods and put things into the windows and bring in different types of cars. It's quite complicated, but satisfied when it's all done. Then we're going to take you into the heart of our metropolitan sets. Yes, there's more. We call it New York Street. It has been dressed that way more often than not. And when it is dressed as New York City, it can be so authentic that it can even fool Jimmy Fallon. And I like fooling Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. That old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. No, just, just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Well, there's been quite a bit made on the Universal lot. You can even see our metropolitan sets as part of the obstacle course for American Ninja Warrior. They make you say it like that, too. Hey, we can take it any place in the world on our back lot. We're on our way from the big city to a remote island known as Skull Island.
Oh, Skull Island.
Way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island.
Oh, look at the wildlife in Skull Island. Wait a minute. Oh, mama!
In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We're just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film. And this is, another day, another incident on Skull Island, using the creatures and the character and personality of Kong as he appeared in the movie.
Hey, you guys look a little nervous. Don't be, because Titus and I have been to Skull Island many times. We go on nature hikes, play beer pong. All you gotta do is follow the rules. We'll get through this simply. Hey, how you doing back there? How you doing? Please remain seated at all times. Please keep your arms, legs, and hands inside of the tram at all times, and hang on to your personal belongings, like your cell phones, your magic wands, and your hula hoops. Peter Jackson will tell you when to put those glasses on. Here is Peter Jackson to give you some idea of what goes into this whole thing and what this is all about, with King Kong showing up and whatnot.
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart.
The island.
Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years.
We were so sure.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Skull Island.
Okay, glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Whoa.
ladies and gentlemen, King Kong 360 3D. That is one of the. You should have seen the looks on your faces with those glasses. And every panel is projected on one of the largest digital 3D screens and standing over 40 feet tall and 180 feet wide. Using some of the most advanced technology built into that, the film was designed by Peter Jackson and his team at Planet Effects. They won several Academy Awards working on such films as King Kong, Lord of the Rings Trilogy, Avatar, Deadpool, Avatar: The Way of Water.
Deadpool, they filmed Deadpool here. Oh, did they? They're saying in here in Universal, they used the sets.
Amazing how many productions.
Oh, this is where they fought in Deadpool 2 and
movies, television shows, music videos, commercials, live events such as Hairspray Live. A lot of musical artists have worked on Metropolitan sets over the years, and include Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift made her music video Wildest Dreams in our Metropolitan sets. And look at this. It's the good old Blues Brothers Boys Band. And coming up on your right is another Easter egg. It is a mural that is a tribute to our classic horror films, painted by Walnut Elm Street artist Tristan Eaton. It's coming up on your right.
An instrumental part of the process of designing these murals is getting to know the Universal Archive. Going there, I got to see in person props from the movies, photos from behind the scenes, original illustrations from those movie posters, all this stuff.
The way that mural glows in the dark. It's a tribute to our classic horror movie, Universal's Horror Movies, based in 1931. Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and it continues with our Dark Universe opening a Universal's Epic Universe. Now I know Florida this year. Coming up on your left, you see a ginormous V. Here's why that V is there.
Hey, what's up, Studio Tour? It's Kelsey Ballerini.
And I am John Legend from The Voice. And we shoot our show right here in Stage 31, one of the newest stages on the line.
These state-of-the-art sound stages allow us to bring our show to life, from the blinds to the lives and everything in between.
Everyone's talking about the new Voice Coaches, even the new Voice Coaches.
You see that gorgeous face again? We missed you, man! Go on.
I'm here to put these boys in their place.
Sounds a big night. So that's how it's going to be.
The Voice, Monday on NBC Unified.
Early news of Reba McEntire is missing from that lineup. Well, Reba McEntire is right next door at Stage 53, working on her new show, Happy's Place. It stars Reba McEntire,
Can we go to the
Melissa Escobedo, and
Jaws?
Melissa Peterman.
Are we doing Jaws?
Past 5 times. Hey, we're heading into Little Europe. Little Europe is not a great big place. Where you
I
can
don't
make it
think
look
so,
like
because
any part of Europe
I think
you want
Jaws,
by changing
that
the
makes it an
lighting on the
hour.
signs. Little Europe was built in
That
the
makes it an hour, but right now it's
for a
45
motion picture
minutes.
entitled All Quiet on the Western Front, which won Universal's first Best Picture Academy Award in 1930. And right after that, we started making horror movies, and plenty of them. Those horror movies had two things in common. They had the monster, and they had the angry villager. At some point in the movie, there was a monster, and at some point in the movie, the villagers would get angry. Here's one of those angry villager scenes filmed here in Little Europe from Bride of Frankenstein, starring Boris Karloff as the monster and Elsa Lanchester as the bride. Yeah, they got their torches and their bloodhounds and their hula hoops and their iPads. And whenever they have this monster, but whenever they come to the monster in these films, things went horribly awry. That's right, guys.
Son of Frankenstein.
Look at them running. So they're texting their friends as they run. Yeah, why don't you shoot it? That's why you get the monster smack now, baby. You don't see that on TikTok. Now, you see Little Europe was all sorts of locations, including The Good Place. The Good Place starring Ted Danson, Kristen Bell, William Jackson Harper, and Jamila Jamil.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this.
You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Every blind date I've ever gone on has told me that.
I can't risk going to the bad place.
Well, maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
But it does sound like my apartment. Hey, you've seen Little Europe with so many locations over the years and didn't even know it. This corner area to your right, that was dressed as Paris, France for a couple of episodes of a show from Showtime called Weeds, starring Mary Louise Parker. It was used for the 4th season of that show. You've also seen Little Europe as Tortuga for Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, starring Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, Jeffrey Rush, and Keira Knightley. They were moving forward here. Coming up on your left, you're going to see a gray and white house. It's a set. It is a practical set. You can film on the inside as well as the outside. And this was made for Hallmark Channel's Home and Family. And it's a really cool set. We held on to it because it has a fully functional kitchen, a living room, a couple of bedrooms, a 3-car garage, and Jamaica's backyard. So we've been using it for other shows. As a matter of fact, it's being set up for yet another production. They're working on a commercial in there. And that house has been featured in episodes of Bel Air Season 2. Hey, we're going to take you into an actual sound stage. Now, that stage clearly says stage 50. I did mention earlier that we have 36 sound stages. Well, we only have 36 sound stages, but back in the early days, studio heads were superstitious about this new thing called motion pictures. So whenever something went wrong with the production, or it didn't do well at the box office, the studio heads would order the number of the sound stage where that production was filmed changed to another number. Pretty soon there were more numbers than sound stages. All the studios are like this, and not one studio has a stage number 13. Now, if you're on a studio lot, somebody says, meet me over there at stage 13, don't go. That's a trap. We're going to take you into that stage, by the way. It is currently in use for a production. They are going to take a break in a moment and allow us to go in here. It's pretty cool, but we can't stay very long because they're just going to take a quick break and set the cameras back up again and go back to filming in there. Or depending on the budget, they're going to go back to recording an image in there because we use digital cameras now. It's rare that you get the production using film anymore. Everything is converted over to digital now. And well, there's some bit of a artistic controversy about that, but you know what? They put a lot of innovations into electronic capture, so you can the tram at all times and hang on to your personal belongings. And we'll be in there in just a few moments. Taking all the quiet for a moment. This is why production companies film back here, because it's nice and quiet. They can control the environment that they're filming in. And of course, if where the barbecue at? All right, get those cameras ready. We are inside of our split level sound stage. Up above, we recreated an urban street scene with trucks and cars. Down below where we are, a Northern California subway station. Note the detail from the turnstiles to the ticket dispensers. I've never seen a subway station this detailed. You didn't know better, you'd think it was the real thing. Wait a minute, what's that big red button for there, Titus? Don't touch it! I just wanted to know what the button was for. I didn't say touch the button. Don't touch it again! biologist of the production company. Don't worry, Titus, I won't throw you under the bus. I'll just tell them that you sneezed. I would like to put you in the movies at Universal Studios Hollywood, and that is what we call Earthquake the Big One. It was based on, or inspired rather, by our 1974 disaster film Earthquake. It starred Charlton Heston and Richard Roundtree. Hey, let's take it easy for a moment. Let's go for a little R&R at Amity Island. Some of you ever heard of Amity? Menaced by a great white shark way back in 1975. Well, that was 50 years ago. I don't have to think more about it now. As a matter of fact, Mayor Vaughn says the beaches are open to beautiful day. And as you know, Amity means friendship. Look at all those friends in the water. Are you my friend? Well, friend, get in the water. Don't mind those signs. That's just doctor's orders and so forth. All right, have your cameras ready. It is beautiful out here. The beaches are open. You can go swimming or fishing. Play some Twister, maybe do some break dancing later on.
It's open.
Until you hear the music like now. Yep, there's a shark out there, but don't worry, that shark is going for that yellow barrel because sharks like yellow barrels.
Oh, look.
Hang on a second, where's the shark going now? Hey, where'd that guy come from? He's wearing a yellow oxygen tank. Get out of there, the shark's after your oxygen tank. Yep, what's he doing? Oh, he's just showing off now. Quit playing with the shark, let the shark go. Sharks need to swim in order to breathe. What? Oh, that can't be good for you. We gotta call that in. Now the shark's headed for the yellow barrel, but because there's a rope rose attached to it. Let's stick around and watch what happens. We'll park next to the gas tanks. We'll be safe here. Sharks don't like gas. Look, it took the bait and the pier too. I hope that flammable liquid doesn't ignite like that. Well, that's hot. That's Africa hot. Tarzan can't think they kind of hot. Wait a minute. That diver? He's got over here somehow. He says it's okay. It's just a flash wound. Take a look. I've heard that before.
Oh, he's right there. That's cool.
And you wanted a window seat. You've got face to face with Bruce the Mechanical Shark. Inspired by Bruce the Mechanical Shark for the movie Jaws. By the way, Jaws was not filmed here. It was filmed on location 50 years ago in Martha's Vineyard. And guess what? This year is the 50th anniversary of the release of the movie Jaws. Now, you've seen this area as all sorts of locations that include Cabot Cove for Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury. Whee! Look out for the shark. You can catch all 12 seasons of Murder, She Wrote streaming on Peacock. The world is around the corner for us here at Universal Studios Hollywood. We go around the corner and head down south, and we're in Mexico. This area has been featured in a number of television shows, including The A-Team, Simon and Quantum Leap. You know what? Lady Gaga made a music video here for her song Judas. And this tour is full of surprises because look at this, we're just in time for a weather effects demonstration. Feel free to take pictures. Tell all your friends. Let's make this more dramatic, shall we? How about some precipitation or rain? Hey, special effects. That rain is created by an elaborate sprinkler system above you. Pointed upward, it looks like naturally falling rain with the camera. Probably notice it's only raining on half of the tram up here. I guess that's what Al Roker would call a 50-50 chance of rain. Right, Titus? Right. Hey, that deep rumbling can't be good for you. That means there's a flash flood in the area, but you do not have to worry about that unless you're sitting in a blue seat or if you have blonde hair. Oh, I'd take cover back there in the second or third car if I were you, because that water's coming for you, coming to get you. You know what, Titus? That's a lot more water than I anticipated. Maybe we should get going now. Now would be a good time. Well, at least we didn't all get soaked. Titus, I can't believe I'm throwing you. How come I gotta get go one more time? Yeah, we fooled you with that. We dump thousands of gallons of recycled water from tanks at the top of the hill. The water crashes down the hill, gets pumped right back into the tanks at the top of the hill, so we can get somebody else with it. What many times have you had to think that? This goes all over our lot.
You cannot run no long cat.
Ricky Munoz, Amanda Bynes, Paul Giamatti, and then Pablo. Get him. Shaka Khan! Hey, imagine a bunch of people in formal wear during that. That's kind of what it looked like back in 1915. Paul Lehman, the founder of Universal Studios, at his opening day ceremony of the studio, he invited the politicians and movie stars and celebrities of the day. They all showed up, dressed up, looking all good. Well, they had some surprises for them to show off his filmmaking prowess. He had a mechanical effect built, similar to the flash flood that you just experienced, only it was a breakaway dam. And they would break away on cue, water would come pouring out. They were pretty cool. But people didn't know what to expect. They stood too close to it. There was too much water, and it soaked everybody. Well, here we are in the oldest part of the lot, the Old West. This is where it all began with Carl Laemmle inviting the public in to watch the filming of silent movies. They could explore the sets, marvel at the technology that went into making silent movies, and they could sit in bleachers and watch the filming of a silent movie and have a box lunch. All for 25 cents. Now, we still use these sets to feature quite a bit in Sony Pictures production of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Margot Robbie, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the halfway mark of the tour. Keep in mind the studio is private property. If you should happen to drop anything of value off the side of the tram, don't get out of the tram. It's trespassing, they will come and get you. It's very embarrassing. Just give a tug of the emergency cord, sit back and relax. I will come back to assist you when it is safe to do so. Hey, we're going to pass by the Jaws ride again. Yes, we call it the Jaws ride because of its classification in attractions and theme parks. Here to tell you about the sets, here to tell you more about the Jaws ride is Academy Award-winning director Steven Spielberg.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into the creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1974.
Look at that. I have no idea what they're in for over there. By the way, there was a lot of issues that went on with making Jaws. So much so that they went over budget and behind schedule. The studio almost pulled the plug on the Jaws film, but they didn't. And it's a good thing because Universal is still paying the money out of Jaws to this day, 50 years later. Coming up on your left is the entrance to Colonial Street, featured in dozens of productions that include movies and television shows, music videos and commercials. It was the neighborhood featured in the movie The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. It is now the neighborhood featured in the limited series that will be streaming on Peacock called The Burbs, starring Keke Palmer and Haley Joel Osment. And is also the location to your left for Wisteria Lane for ABC's hit television series Desperate Housewives. And guess what? Ted lives there too.
Oh yeah.
Let the festivities begin. How many we got? Well, let's see. We got 20 contents.
Fantastic.
Do you think we're getting too old for this?
Oh, come on, Johnny, we're doing a public service here. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samaritans.
See, that ain't right, because they threw eggs at me and I wasn't even wearing a costume. Hey, have your cameras ready. And, by the way, we have approximately 15 minutes left of the tour. Keep in mind the studio is private property. If you should happen to drop anything of value off the side of the tram, don't get out of the tram. It's trespassing. They'll come and get you. There's all these golf carts around here just waiting for you to get off the tram so they can get you. So just give a tug on the emergency cord, sit back and relax. I will come back to assist you when it is safe to do so. Have those cameras ready. We got picture cars coming up on either side of the tram. To your left, we got the original Glamour tram from our 1960s tour. On your right is the second biggest shark I've ever seen. And also you can see one of the Twisted Metal vehicles from our series Twisted Metal on Peacock. That yellow hoopty, that's known as the Deuce from American Graffiti, directed by George Lucas. Yep, that is the Weasley's flying car from Harry Potter. And that's a whole gaggle of cool girls from The Grinch starring Jim Carrey. On your left, you got a bunch of tuners from our Fast and Furious franchise. And how about we take a little pit stop at the most popular motel in Hollywood? The Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's film Psycho. Starring Anthony Perkins and Vera Miles. You're looking at two of the oldest, most famous structures still standing in Hollywood.
I remember this one.
Yeah, that's Norman Bates. They let him out of the hospital. He's all better now. What do you have to say for yourself, Norman?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
That's kind of cryptic. You guys is getting ready for Universal's Fan Fest nights. 12 rooms, 12 vacancies. He's going to come out with some promotional material for us. Maybe some toasted cheese sandwiches. Let's see, what's he doing in there? Oh, here he comes now. And it looks like he's got some... Hey, that ain't right. He's up to his old tricks. He's going back to the hospital. You're going back to the hospital, Norman. Put the body down. Watch this. He hates it when I do this. That's right, Norman. It's Marcellus. Remember this from your high school prom? Hey, you know what? You stay right there. Security's on the way. Stay right there. Quit moving. Right there's. It's a great motel. Too bad we can't stay. Oh, you can't catch us. We're in an electric tram. Ha ha. Take you up for a closer look at the Bates Mansion. You may notice something about the house as we approach. It seems to be diminishing or getting smaller. That's because the house was built to 3/4 scale so that it would look like a large house in the distance without building one. It's an old camera trick called the forced perspective. The oversized windows and doors are part of that effect. They can look normal from a distance. By the way, that's not a full-scale set, so we couldn't build interiors in there. All the interiors are filmed on sound stages. That set is known as a shell, as in seashell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the spectacular crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning.
That's an ugly sight to see that airplane like that. That's crazy.
The airplane is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Steven.
You sit down to talk about War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 was right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. It's an actual 747 jet airplane, which was purchased from an airplane graveyard, sliced into sections, brought here on trucks, and then destroyed to make it look like it was hit by an alien death ray. That set's been here for a while because it's kind of generic. So other production companies have been using it. Episodes of Ghost Whisperer filmed there. This area has also been seen as Site B Village for the Lost World Jurassic Park, directed by Academy Award with Steven Spielberg. It was also where the Woodville sets were located for The Grinch, starring Jim Carrey, directed by Academy Award winner Ron Howard. Now we're going to take you to Jupiter's Claim. One of the major sets featured Jordan Peele, Academy Award winner Jordan Peele's most recent film, Nope. Here to tell me about the sets is Mr. Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life.
Oh, yeah.
This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park.
That's the second biggest inflatable cowboy I've ever seen.
Over there, look into the Winking Well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one?
No.
No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, a gold rush frontier town, lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of a UFO hotspot.
this can't be good for you. Whatever you do, don't look up. Do not look up. You looked up. There's nothing to see. That's why I said don't look up. Yep, we're going to ride up into the sunset because we come to the end of the tour. On your right, you will see a big wall of blue. It is the world's largest freestanding backdrop. And before that backdrop was built there, it was a plateau with a little lake with a waterfall that fed into it, called Falls Lake. And it was used as the swamp where Norman Bates would carefully park his guest's car while they stayed at his motel, make sure the cars were safe. Well, for Jaws, they filmed on location in Martha's Vineyard and had nothing but problems because they filmed on the ocean. So for Jaws 2, they went to Florida and filmed off the coast in the ocean where they had nothing but problems because they filmed on the ocean. For Jaws the Revenge, they filmed in the Bahamas, but they filmed all the shark sequences here on their back lot by turning the plateau into a big water tank, building that big backdrop out in the ocean. That worked just fine. It worked out very well. We used it for several other productions after that.
Oh, Hulk.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the tour. It's been my pleasure. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking